Hello, and welcome to another show of Waking Up, conscious discussions about our changing reality. I felt that it's really important for me to talk to you about, for this episode, divisions, because it is front and center everywhere we look, especially on mainstream. They are pushing division constantly. And I mean, this shows up in politics. This shows up in vaccines, in our position about, COVID. It shows up in, whatever race, ethnicity, gender, wealthy or poor. It's everything. Everything is being brought up. And I want you to look at the bigger picture, because in the bigger picture, it doesn't matter which side you're on about this. We all have the right to look at things in our own perspective. And we need to honor that within ourselves and others. And most of us do. However, remember, we are leaving a third dimensional reality, which is all about division, because it teaches duality. So it's teaching, this duality is about your divine, choosing between your divine truth and the opposite of that. So in your divine truth, you are and have always been united with all of creation, with everyone. There is no real division in our truest reality. However, the 3D reality is the opposite. Everything is upside down and backwards of our truth within this dualistic 3D reality. So its main agenda and the way that it creates its structure that it has been building for thousands of years is about division, dividing us. It begins with dividing us from ourselves, because in our 5D true reality, in our soul's true reality, we are always and have always been connected and part of God. And that connection is within ourselves. It is within our heart space. It's within the body. God is within us. Okay. So when many religions came about, and many other things that pointed us in the opposite direction, that told us someone else had the answers for us, that we were not capable of reaching those answers. And that's all part of the duality game. But in our truth, we, the intuition that we, it's that soul knowing, that higher knowledge and wisdom. It's always alive within us, always there to guide us. But the 3D reality did everything it could to take us out of that perception, and our focus just was out there, and we began to believe what we were being fed. And again, this is all part of the game. I like to see it as the game of duality, because we want to look at this from the much bigger perspective, the perspective of our soul, or from God's perspective. And this is all an experience, a very real experience, to really grow in so many ways. And if we were to really honestly look at our lives in their totality, we have grown enormously. We have matured in so many wonderful and amazing ways. And we're ready to move into the fifth dimensional reality. However, as one cycle is ending and another is beginning, we will see they overlap. Okay, so we will also witness the beginning of an ending reality because it goes in cycles. So we see the tail, okay? So it's kind of like, you know, if you were to see, oh, just a circle, okay, and you're coming to the conclusion of a cycle, you will see the beginning again, okay? So this conclusion is going to bring in all of our different life experiences, all of the different timelines. So everything that we have not resolved is being triggered. And all of these divisive arguments that are being thrown in our faces are really, you know, we can utilize this, okay? Instead of getting angry and feeding into the, you know, solidifying or the continuation of a third dimension reality, we use that anger or that emotion to say, well, wait a minute, something's up here. Let me check within myself. And it should be the impetus to make some changes, to look at what is being triggered within you from the perspective of your soul. So you want to reach that, you know, ask your guides and angels, ask your soul, ask God for some guidance. Why am I being triggered? What is it within me that is not resolved? Because if it was resolved, it wouldn't be triggered within you. So these teachers that are creating these really ugly scenes, okay, these that culminate in a dualistic, a divisive type of, you know, the riots, all right, you know, anything that is pitting us against each other. Look at it as it's a gift, because if you are being triggered, if others are being triggered, there is something within the self that is still wounded, that is not united within the self. Okay, so let's look at these divisions, these divisive issues. It is coming up, you know, all of these things are being triggered within you, and that's a good thing, because you can't heal something and move forward into your new reality until you are clearing these things, these blocks that are holding you down, that are holding you in an old reality, in an old perspective, in an old belief. Okay, so you need to, they're coming up, they're being triggered because you need to look at them so that you can begin that process of resolution and of walking through it, get to the other side of it. Because third dimensional reality teaches us to suppress, run away from your problems. Yeah, let's just not look at it. Let's just, you know, keep moving forward, and we'll just kind of forget that trauma happened. So we've not been taught how to deal with some of these traumas, how to heal them. The way to heal them is to face them, to go within the self, to begin that communication process with the self. And at the very core, it's always going to be about what aspect of myself have I divided against, have I separated from? Okay, we have become so fragmented. And again, separation. We have many beautiful aspects about ourselves, wonderful truths that have been that we've been taught that are not right, that are dangerous. Don't be so selfish. Don't be self-centered. Okay, but we need to turn within to get those answers, to get that deeper wisdom and knowledge, and for our real healing to take place. And it always comes back to unconditional love and compassion of every single aspect of yourself. because of these divisions within the self. So there is a beautiful healing process that does take place, but it takes place within the self, and I can't get into it completely on the show. However, I do, assist individuals in moving through this process. But you can, there's so much you can do yourself, okay? But it is tuning in, deciding to tune within your heart space to begin that process of accessing the true answers. What is the truth within this situation? And then choosing again, you know what? I'm going to let this go. And your intention is the majority of your healing process. But then you got to stick to it. Okay. It's also about your will. This is part of taking responsibility. This is part of your growth at the end of this process. Is something comes up, it's being triggered, you look within. And even if you can't put your finger on exactly what it is, choose. You know what? There's something that is not healed within myself because it's coming up. And I am choosing to heal this, to resolve this. And ask God, your guides and angels, your higher self to assist you, to help you to see the higher perspective of this. And if you need to, what was the teaching of this? And decide to let this go. I'm ready to resolve this. I'm ready to move forward. I'm ready to accept full responsibility for the healing that needs to take place. And for many of the issues, it really is about letting them go. Just say, and if you have trouble letting some of these things go, I always like to look at, these past traumas and experiences as those were teachers. And even if you don't know the whole story about why you went through this, if we come into a place of gratitude for whatever knowledge and wisdom that was to take place, and healing, because remember, there's a lot of karmic issues that are being resolved too. So, come into a place of gratitude. Thank that difficult, those difficult emotions that are coming up. Say thank you for the teachings. I got this now. Thank you, because even though I don't know what it was, there was a blessing in that somewhere. And begin that release process. But then you need to choose, what am I going to replace that with? I choose, for instance, I choose my wholeness. I choose my healed reality. I choose the reality of my soul. I choose the wisdom of my soul. I choose whatever it is, but make that statement. I choose. That's really important. Let's see. I just want to make sure. Okay, so keep in mind that the structure of this 3D, this has been taking place for thousands and thousands of years. And it's, in these last several years, it's really been ramping up because those who are in the position to create this dualistic reality, they know that humanity is ready to ascend. They know the 5D door is wide open and they're trying to hold us back. That is why they are, bringing everything, this ugliness and distorting facts and not even having true facts. So this is also a time for searching for the truth. We need to search for the truth and begin to question everything and everyone that we have relied on to give us that information. Because also at the end of the day, this is part of your 5D reality is to be so connected to your inner truth that you can sense when something is off, when something is not quite right. And when you have that feeling, that instinct, it's time for you to take a step back and do some research. Do research in, way outside of the boxes that you have had recent or had been looking for information. Because many times, and remember, because this structure of division and duality has been ongoing for so long that it is so infiltrated in our reality that we don't even notice it. So many of the things that we have always trusted, we need to question. We need to question. And if they are true, if everybody is on the up and up, then there should be no problem. However, if you're feeling that something's not quite right here, then that is your soul saying, let's dig a little deeper here. Let's find the truth. And if there is some institution or whatever that is completely on the up and up, it will stand the scrutiny. And we ourselves as teachers, as leaders, as in whatever field that is, this is all, we need to make sure, are we, we need to do that inner work constantly. Are we our authentic truth? And where are we not our authentic truth? And then do the work, move into your authentic truth. Because again, this has been long ego programming. And so these things that are being triggered, we need to see that as you're doing me a favor. You are reflecting something within me that is not healed, that is divided with it, that I'm separated from, that there's a wound there. So typically when we are wounded in whatever way, we separate from that aspect of ourself if we have not resolved that wound and that part of ourselves that was wounded. And again, this is a very deep discussion. However, this is, you can reach me if you have some issues that you would like to, to resolve, and you're having trouble doing that with by yourself, or someone else that you absolutely do trust. But again, everything is up. And so moving into 5D, we are learning to trust ourselves. We are learning, because if we can't trust ourselves, then we can't, we can't trust our outer world. There's something going on. Okay. There's something not quite healed within the self. And so we need to jump on these things, because these are all, if we don't, it's going to prevent us from moving fully into the fifth dimensional reality. And again, the fifth dimensional reality is about unity of self, our union with God, our relationship with God, our relationship with all aspects of creation, and with one another. In 5D reality, we see what we know. We are all brothers and sisters. We are all beautifully different, and we love our differences. We celebrate them, and we celebrate who we are as individuals. We love who we are, and we love who everyone else is as well. There is no division in our truest soul's reality. God sees us all as his beautiful, wonderful, and amazing children. Let me see, there was one more thing. Oh, if you do have trouble connecting or how to do this, ask God, ask God to help you connect to your divine truth, to your answers. And God will begin to set you on that path that is right for you. Okay, so again, all of this divisiveness that everybody, it's trying to get everyone to quarrel. We don't need that. They're just trying to trap us in that 3D reality, continue their enslavement. And they want us, they want it to keep going and going and going, and they will be relentless. So again, let's not look at them as our enemy. Let's look at them as, whoa, I mean, they were great teachers. I don't like what they did. I don't, many things are horrific, but if we hadn't been so separated from our own truth, and again, these separations, these divisions from self, this creates the biggest wounds within the self. So we have separated. Let's talk about the children, okay? More and more information is coming up about this. What has happened to these beautiful, innocent children, that reflects what we have been doing to our own innocence, our own inner child. How have we tortured our own inner child? How have we abandoned our own inner child? How, in everything. So because humanity had not taken care of the issues that they have within, it had to be reflected in their outer world. And that reflection gets louder and worse and worse and worse. It's just like the stories that we hear often, where someone is standing on the rooftop and it's a flood. And they're saying, God, please come save me. Come help me. So God sends, a raft. And that person says, oh, no, I'm waiting for God to come and save me. And next you have someone coming along in a canoe. And you say, oh, no, God's going to come save me. And then another time, there's one more opportunity. And they say, no, God's coming. And then they drown. The moral of the story is, that was God. God works through everyone. God is within everything. And when you ask for assistance, pay attention. It may not come in the way that you perceive it or you think it's going to come. You need to learn to be open again and expect there is going to be an answer. This is a really interesting time, a very interesting time. It is a serious time. However, we need to be careful of where we are, where our emotions are, because our energy is feeding these different realities. So if we stay in anger, in sadness, in sorrow, in depression, that feeds that third dimensional reality. Remember, use those emotions that surface as an impetus to jump into action. Okay, what do I need to heal within myself? And, as you are looking at these issues from the perspective of your soul, then begin to see it as, this has been a game designed to help me see what's wrong within myself and really take responsibility. Okay, because at the end of the day, we are one beautiful family. And I believe that we can all make it into the into the fifth dimension reality. There's a great party happening there, and incredible abundance. It's gonna be amazing. So I know that all of you are able to make it there, but you've got to do the work. You've got to take responsibility. And when you do, you're going to love it. You're going to love this ride. It's just going, because it puts you in control. You are here to master the self. This is because you need to be able to master who you are, your emotions, your beliefs, your thoughts, your energy, to move into the 5D reality. And so, again, you are all amazing, and I know that you are all here to become the masters of your life and your destiny. Until next time, abundant blessings.